Pennsylvania Railroad Betsy Ross. I haven't seen these in a long time. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like these. The color is great. The Pennsylvania, look at that. Nice Vista dome. Hello again, boys and girls, and welcome to another action-packed, exciting edition of What's in the Box. So what am I doing? My father collected model trains, mostly Lionel, for over 70 years. He left us with 209 boxes just like this one, filled with Marklin, MTH, K-Line, but mostly Lionel trains. So it's my job to go through all the boxes, inventory them, value the items, and then send them off for auction. We got another box here of engines. I know I said previously in an episode that I'm not a big fan of rolling freight, so I'm kind of getting away from doing a lot of box cars. My father loved box cars. He has a ton of 64 box cars I have to get to eventually. But right now I'm going through the engines, and I'm real happy when looking at his inventory list that he did actually put most of his engines together, which is great because I can get a box and just have a lot of F3s or Fairbanks-Morse and not have to go through rolling freight day after day. So I'm kind of excited about that. But let's get started. And I got the box cam with me right here. And let's take a look. All right, so right away we have, it looks like, wow. Right up top, we have a Jersey Central Fairbanks-Morse, which is the most expensive of all the Fairbanks-Morse items. And it looks like it's an original Lionel paper, but there's no box. Underneath, we have some smaller boxes of engines as well, so this should be a good one. Let's take a look what's inside. Okay, the first Trainmaster is going to be the Jersey Central. As you know from previous episodes, the Trainmasters that were made post-war are the Lackawanna, the Virginian, and the Jersey Central. Those are the three road names that were made. But there's 5 distinct types. 2 Virginians, 2 Lackawannas, and the Jersey Central. This one, again, like the Illinois Central, goes for over $2,000 at auction often, if it's in good shape. And it's the Jersey Central. Big engine, heavy engine. Wow, look at this color. I'm going to have to use 2 hands for this one. Look at that. Perfect, in perfect shape. Blue and orange. That is really pretty. 2341 Jersey Central. I'm not sure when he got this because we had some things that were like his white whales that he had a hard time getting. The F3 Canadian Pacific, the F3 Western Pacific. For some reason, the Burlington GP7. But it took him a long time to get this one. I forget when he got it. It is beautiful. 2341 Jersey Central. So now we have seen all 5 of the different Fairbanks-Morse post-war. Next item. It's a 614 Alaska Switcher. This is going to be an 027 engine, a smaller engine than the O-gauge engine. Obviously, the Jersey Central will not run on 027 27-inch track. It'll bind up with the wheels. It has to be on 036 or 072 track for it to run. The Alaskan Switcher. All right. Kind of unique. I don't think I've seen this one before. The blue and yellow is cool. The color scheme. I don't know what this is on top though. This plastic cap. What that is. It looks kind of bizarre. 614 027 Alaska Railroad. A little switcher. Okay. 2354-25. Looks like another New York Central. But my father, I believe, has like 4 or 5 different New York Central F3s. In the last video, we showed the 2333 being the oldest model ever made in 1948. So this one is going to be made probably in the 50s. It's a later number. And again, I never liked the color scheme of the New York Central. I thought it was kind of bland, just battleship gray. But it is odd that Lionel made so much of them. I guess when you're headquartered in Harrison, New Jersey, so they were headquartered right across the Hudson River. So they probably favored a lot of. They did. They favored a lot of Lionel and Pennsylvania road names because they were from that area. Yep, same thing. Basic New York Central color scheme. battleship gray and the white. Plastic vents on top. Metal ladders in the back. Plastic there. This is dual motor. Dual motor. It's a 2354 dual motor. It is heavy. And this is going to be the New York Central B unit. New York Central B unit. 2354. So again, an AA configuration on the F3. This is the 4th or 5th New York Central I found so far. So we got quite a bit of those. Probably going to end up keeping one, the 2333, which is the oldest one, even though it's not in the best of shape, but it was my dad's first F3, and probably sell the other ones at auction because there's just so many of them. Since that last box only had 4 different items and actually have an AAF3, I'm going to do one more box in this video. We got some time, so why not? Let's get going. Got the box cam going for this one. Okay, it looks like more engines, which is what I brought over. Mostly packed in cardboard, so they're probably in their original boxes. We'll see when we go through them, so looks good. Let's get going. Oh, very cool. Actually, it's our first set of passenger cars. The 2542 Vista Dome Pennsylvania Railroad Betsy Ross. I haven't seen these in a long time. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like these. The color is great. The Pennsylvania, look at that. Nice Vista Dome with the maroon and gold letters. I believe, now that I'm seeing this is part of the Congressional set, right? So you have the Tuscan GG-1, the 2260 or 2360 GG-1, and then you have the set of passenger cars. So that could be in this box. We'll see. But there's the Vista Dome. I think the coolest looking of all of the passenger cars. The observation car is cool with the rounded back, but this is really cool. A Great Northern boxcar. All right, well, it's stuck in this valuable box for a reason. Maybe this is a very expensive boxcar. It's a 64 450 Great Northern. It's a little worn on the decal. See America First, Glacier National Park. But the usual Great Northern color scheme of being green and orange. We got a couple of pantographs in here. In the old Westinghouse plastic. Westinghouse no longer exists. It was bought out by Schindler Elevator Company a long time ago when I was in college. High school, whatever, a long time ago. 2 pantographs. So as I said, I'm pretty sure there's a Tuscan GG-1 in here, which is, of course, the Congressional set. The Tuscan GG-1 and the Pennsylvania passenger cars. There's no model number on this box that I can see. All right, let's take a look and see what it is. It feels heavy. Feels like a GP7, GP9. Oh, very cool. It's the Minneapolis and St. Louis GP9. Again, a cool engine for, I'll tell you why because of the detail. So it's the GP9 with the hood on it right here instead of the 7. But I like the fact that they took the time to actually paint the top blue. I know in a production process when you're doing injection molding and everything else, it takes a lot as far as making things different and unique. And Lionel got kind of sloppy in the 60s with a lot of junky 027 pieces. But something like this is very, very nice, where they actually took the time, like on the Rio Grande, to paint the hood green. They actually painted the Minneapolis-St. Louis top blue, so it has that nice contrast to it. So very nice piece, in great shape, 2348. The Pullman, Pennsylvania Railroad, the Molly Pitcher. Yes, the Congressional set's right here. There's the Molly Pitcher Pennsylvania Pullman. Love these passenger cars. Look how big they are, too. They're very long passenger cars. I don't think that 027 track is a problem because when you have trucks with 6 wheels, they bind up. Since these are 4-wheel trucks, they may run on that kind of track. But if you're going to have something like this running, the GG-1 with the Congressional passenger cars, you want to have a nice, big track, a big layout. Another Pullman, the William Penn Pullman. So we got the Molly Pitcher, and now you have the William Penn. And I think it's very, very cool that they have the names of the historical figures on there. The Molly Pitcher, the William Penn, and the Betsy Ross are all on the passenger cars themselves. Lionel, very patriotic company. The Alexander Hamilton observation car. This is the one I was talking about. That's very, very cool, I think. See, it's got the curved back end like that. Always a good-looking car. It must have been pretty cool to ride in the passenger car back in the 1940s or 50s. If you drove the observation car, to be able to sit and look out the back. And oh wow, there's 5 passenger cars, and the William Penn Pullman. We already had a William Penn Pullman, so he has 2 of these, I guess, right? Yeah, he must have just had 2. 2543 is this model number, and this one is, I can't find it. But maybe he just purchased 2 or had another one, and he kept them both. Because that would give you 5 passenger cars. That's a big William Penn. That's a big train. And the last piece, we know what this is going to be. As I said, it's going to be the Tuscan GG-1, I believe. Because I think he normally packs stuff together. So with the Congressional set, I think we're going to have the Tuscan GG-1 in here. We'll see. It's heavy. I'm thinking 2360, 2330, 275. So I'm wrong. I thought the 2360 was the Tuscan Congressional set. 2332, I think, wasn't it a green GG-1, right? That number. We'll see. I've been wrong many, many times before unpacking these things. I don't know nearly enough as my dad did. Oh, wow, this is heavy. It's going to be a GG-1 because it's all metal, and that's why it weighs it's like a brick. It weighs a ton. I guess you have to have huge motors to get this thing moving. Yeah, it's the green. It's not the Tuscan. It's the 5 stripe. All right, see, it is 2360, so it's in a different box. So it's a 2360, but it's the green with the 5 stripes, not the Tuscan. And I thought the Tuscan went with the Tuscan passenger cars, but I could be wrong. This is in beautiful shape. It's got a 4-12-12-4 configuration, right? I'm sorry, a 4-6-6-4 configuration, but really nice. 2360. I don't know if it's the Congressional. I have to look it up because I forget what year it came out, but Lionel was very, very particular with the, quote, Congressional series of the GG-1. So, wow, that is a lot of stuff out. It's going to be fun to value these. We'll see what happens. Please stay tuned. Okay, 2 great boxes. Great boxes. On the left, we have the Jersey Central Fairbanks-Morse 2341. Is the most expensive of all the Fairbanks-Morse, over $2,000 usually. We have a later edition New York Central F3. This number is 2354. Came out in the 1950s. We have the GP9 Minneapolis St. Louis 2348. Again, I love the ornate detail with the blue cap on this one. We have the Alaska Railroad Switcher, kind of a cheap model, a cheap piece, 027 with the yellow cap. I'm not sure what this is for. We have the Great Northern boxcar, 6464 450. It's in this box for a reason, so I'm guessing it's a pretty high value item. And lastly, the pieces of the set right over here, which is just beautiful. We have the 2360 Pennsylvania Railroad green GG-1 with 5 passenger cars. We have the observation car. We have 3 Pullmans. We have the Vista Dome. We have 3 Pullmans, and we have the observation car. Again, I was always under the impression that the Congressional set was a Tuscan GG-1, which does exist, and my dad has them. I just haven't found one yet. We have to value that later on, or find it later on. But this is a beautiful set right here. So this would be sold together, obviously, because you have the engine and the passenger cars. Again, I'm not sure if it came with 4 or 5. It just seems odd to have. There's 2 William Penn passenger cars. It seems odd to have that, but maybe it came this way. So, again, 2 very, very impressive boxes. The Jersey Central being probably the nicest piece of all of them, although you have to say that the 2360 GG-1 Pennsylvania is great too. So, really, thanks again for hanging on this long. I really appreciate it, and have a good day.